Hello, today in our studios we have with us Judd on my far left, Ron Runke in the middle, and Marcus. They are one of the people that are involved with the movement called Occupy St. Joseph, and we're going to get some establishing information for them today. First of all, and what is the agenda for this Occupy St. Joseph?
I think agenda might actually be kind of narrowing down what it is that we're trying to do a little too much. Right now, we're trying to raise awareness about certain issues that are really affecting a lot of Americans, most Americans actually, and getting a discussion going is really kind of key to getting the ball rolling, not just here in St. Joe, but pretty much all across the nation.
I would add to that we're providing a focus for people to come and be able to express their thoughts, their opinions about what's going on in terms of Wall Street, the bailout, corporate takeover of our government. So there are, as Judd said, many issues at play here.
At the end of the day, we're just concerned citizens.
Just concerned citizens with...
Right. This is an example of pure, beautiful democracy in action.
Okay. We have to discuss, because I personally, and I believe a lot of people do, we lump this Occupy St. Joseph with the same people who occupied New York in the park and did the bridge crossing, and with all of the arrests and things like that. Are you a part of that group, or what happened there?
We're in solidarity with them. What that basically means is, we're participating in the spirit of the movement, not so much they're leading it and we're following. It's, we have a voice, they have a voice, Boston has a voice. I mean, we all have a voice, and it's solidarity. We're just coming together as a group, as a whole, as a nation, to discuss issues, especially some very strong issues with our employment, with the corporations, with the bailouts, our elections, politicians. I mean, just some fundamental issues of our nation that really need to be addressed at this point.
I think some very brave and resolute individuals up in Wall Street decided to take it upon themselves to start a discussion, and by doing so they drew attention to themselves by placing themselves in an area where they were sure to grab the attention necessary to make this movement spread. I'm not sure at what point it really became a movement. Maybe it was before they had even had the notion to gather together. I think that this movement has kind of been something that's really been churning beneath the surface, and it's really now starting to break through our social fabric.
Wall Street was the really right place for this to begin, because it was Wall Street who wrecked our economy.
As we've learned over history, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when you give an entity, whether it be one man as a tyrant or a corporation, they'll do whatever they can to survive and benefit themselves. And we've reached that point to where now they're benefiting themselves to the expense of everybody else.
What Judd has said is absolutely right. Our corporations have so much power that we're really headed toward a corporate state. And they're buying our politicians, and corporate lobbyists are writing our legislation. So they've gotten so much power that they're destroying our democracy.
I mean, even here in St. Joseph and our communities around it, we've had how many factories live here to go to a foreign country, because free trade allows them to make more money in a foreign country than in the United States. So now we've laid off all of our middle class, and they've all moved on to other jobs, and now our, the next generation, they're coming out of school, they're getting degrees, and their parents are working the jobs that they should be starting at. But because of layoffs and aspects of free trade, those, our parents have taken the jobs that were waiting for us when we graduated.
We all have felt the impact of these kinds of issues. And up until now, I think on a very large scale, it's mostly been about taking it on yourself, trying to cope with it, find ways to deal with it. But it's getting to the point now where we might be rapidly approaching a breaking point, at least here in America. And I welcome that breaking point, because the sooner we've had enough, the sooner that we stand up, united as one, and solve the problem, the better.
I think we agree, though, that it's not going to be any short-term fix. I mean, these are long-term problems. It's going to take a long time to fix it. We agree with that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys
could
get
agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm all for this solution, no matter how long it
Right.
takes.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us in the studios today. We really appreciate the insight to your group, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess my message to St. Joe would be this. If you are a citizen that has no savings account, has been laid off from one of the companies anywhere in the United States, if you are a student and you are under massive student debt, any of those people, you are part of the 99%. You have a voice, and you can either be quiet or you can stand up and use your voice to enact some change in our government.
Ignorance is taking over.